Yeah, hey everyone. I'm back with this is Friedrich again with War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. We're looking at December 10 turn resolution, and let's see what the Japanese have up their sleeve this day. So the K-13 gets a shot off, but they're firing at an escort, which is hard to sink. So I'm gonna push through here. One hit. And the K-13 is in the middle, in the thick of it again, back to back. Nothing comes of that one. I mean, maybe they were looking at the Mikuma. Okay, so this is a situation. This is one of those where we're just like, thankful even the Japanese can miss because, yeah, this is a tanker. Now, I can't tell you right off the top of my head, is this a big one? Is this a very valuable one? I can't say. But, you know, still, it's one of those that makes you kind of hold your breath. All right, the case, what is that, 17? Yeah. Nothing happens there. Now, see all this red. Yeah, that's what we have to deal with for a long time. So, the Montgomery gets some shots off, and you can watch that for a half a minute. But apparently nothing comes of it, so okay. And the Ramsey, kind of going back and forth, but they fail to find, so yeah, it gets away. Now the Henley, so when he fires at or destroy, by the way, all I have out here right now are destroyers. I don't even know where Keto Batai is, but I'm not going to risk getting some ships out here that are going to be cargo ships, especially with all this. So all we're doing right now, eh, any cargo ships I have coming from the west coast, literally just won't come into port until we clear some of this out, and then I send out even then I send out several escorts to bring in the rest. And also, I believe any of these, like I have a capital ship out here, any of these things that I have out here, I bring in to. I can't remember if I bring them in with heavy destroyer escort, or go back to West Coast. But in any case, this is making me nervous because we are trying to get the Saratoga from the West Coast into here also. And this is making life very interesting for us. Precarious. So, yeah. Schley feels to fine. Yeah, but they end up shooting off anyways. So, yeah, it gets away, the I-9. Trust me, we run through a lot of depth charges right in this area. Okay? And the Sculpin fires at a destroyer. Okay. This is a case where they get the jump on us before we can get a torpedo off. With all this, all of these are escort ships, so the Seawolf didn't, based on this, the Seawolf didn't even spot a nice juicy target. And here's the Seawolf again, a target of Japanese ASW patrols. This time we did spot a transport and a cargo ship, but can't get a shot off. Now the Spearfish gets shot off again at an escort. And they also transport and a cargo ship. That might be the same convoy. Okay, the I-165 does get a hit on our cargo ship here, Belenga. So also he's on the surface, firing deck gun and more torpedoes. Just really trying to, I guess, disintegrate this boat. Yeah. Wow, look at that. I want to see even Dud. Look at this. It doesn't show, but I would love to see how many torpedoes he fired. It's got to be like 8 or more, 8 or 10. But still took 4 torpedo hits as well as some shell hits. In retaliation, we got 1 hit on him. Which, yeah, that's not good. All right, so here's a situation where I mean, look, these cruisers and destroyers could have just destroyed us. But here's what's happening. I'm sending a transport here and a transport here. We've got some small units here that I want to rescue. I could have left them here, yeah, but I want to rescue, and they have a couple of small engineer units that I'd like to bring them down and set up bases further south, because these are not going to hold anyway. So the idea is get these spare transports up here, grab them and go. Well, on the way up, we run into this task force, and fortunately, this task force is in the mode to probably invade somewhere. I don't know where, because they're here, which is southwest of their stuff. So I'm not sure where they're headed, but maybe it's fortuitous. Maybe he runs away. But in any case, it's I mean, maybe he's heading down here and we throw it off. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's moot now. The point is, he instead of destroying our transport, he evades. We evade, of course, and so does he. All right, the perch is, by the way, this is night action. So again, these first few turns, a lot of stuff is happening. So we'll probably only be able to get a couple of days in this recording as well. The S-38. This has more reliable torpedoes than the average American sub, but it doesn't even get a shot off. And all that it sees are escorts anyway. Anyway. I like to try to say it right, but I mean, I might be destroying it totally in all my crazy attempts. So my apologies in that. But we did get some Blenheims able to bomb. Sorry, no, he got Nels in. I was thinking of a whole different operation here. Sorry, he got his aircraft in at night and was able to actually damage a Blenheim and damage the runway at night under only 46% moonlight. And then Nels are coming in, again, night raid. So let's see what he does here. He actually gets some more hits. Wow, this is very effective for a night raid. So because of that, you'll see I can't deal with this effective of a raid at 46%. So we'll have to fly night escorts or night cap. So nothing doing with that raid. So the I-4 misses our destroyer. And let's see what our destroyer can do. The Patterson abandons the search for the sub. Okay. Now remember, these are night operations. The Americans are on the back foot for night operations early in the war. And so we can't find that submarine. The S-38 doesn't find any juicy targets. All right. So the Thracian, and I can't remember if, well, let's get through it, but the goal here is to bombard his troops that have just crossed over to Hong Kong. Let's see if we can do anything with it. And we do get all three of our destroyers in, and look at that, nothing. Now, it's possible we upped his disruption and fatigue, but that would be it. All right, the I-1 misses our destroyer, and the Schley chases it down, but can't get a beat on it, so gives up. All right, and the S-38, man, the S-38, they're all over that boat. So yeah, they're firing above our depth, or they're exploding above our depth. So that's 38 safe. All right, so he's landing at Miri. There have been so many things early in this war, missed opportunities where just were had I made one small change, I could have possibly hit some of these invasion forces pretty hard, but I kept missing by pure accident or coincidence. It felt like I missed a lot of early opportunities. Okay. They're invading here at Kabiang. We have already pulled out with flying boats. We've pulled out already some those troops that were parked there. So he's safe to invade and capture that. You can see we're reacting to some movements, but yeah, getting a lot of empty turns here. But yeah, still, we're in the daylight, but he's still bombarding, trying to get action going at Miri. All right, the K-15. These Dutch subs up in here, pay attention because they're pretty deadly up here. Now, heavy fires, heavy damage. No telling if it's going to sink. My memory doesn't remember that detail. So our PT boats right here off of, I don't know, I guess it's going to be here, and let's take a look. Yeah, Legazpi. They don't chase, we evade combat, but we don't chase them away. They push through, and yeah. So we're the ones that run away, and they get in that hex. We don't even stay and make them waste ammunition. What a shame. All right, the Jarvis has decided to unload on the I-3. See if we can get something there. And we don't. Okay. All right. I-169 here. We are. Ooh. We're actually fire flow dag, damaged engines. So this thing is hit pretty hard. Now, if only we didn't run out of ASW ammunition because uh, one hit's on fire and we couldn't follow it up with anything to finish it off. But the Ralph Talbot comes along and doesn't do anything. Okay, so here's a situation where an invasion force encounters again. Now this is a cruiser mine layer, the convoy, and I don't think we chase it off. I think we just, oh, both forces evade. Now, that's not, by the way, that has no long-lasting effect. Well, it does for our guys, not for his. All right, the K-15 decides to finish off its wounded target, and so I guess that's the answer to my question. It does sink with 2 more torpedoes, and whatever was on board is destroyed. All right, we have all sorts of aircraft flying ASW here. We report a Japanese sub hit. I mean, trust me, we're going to get a ton of reports over time. All right, so as he sails by, now we know where KB is. As he sails by Midway, he bombs it and, you know, does some damage, but very light. See 2 runway hits, and that's it. So, relatively insignificant for the amount of aircraft that were used on that mission. And some Kates, you know, when the Kates are up against the cargo ship, it's not going to last long. Right here over in the middle of the Philippines. Okay. He has some kind of light carrier out here somewhere. Anyways, three light cargo ships. Just yeah, not gonna survive that. Yep. PM phase. See, these early turns take a long time. Yeah, you saw that notification up there. That's our carriers heading up to the Aleutians. And they successfully evade the KB at Midway, which was heading to Midway. So, yeah, supposedly hitting all these subs, you know, you need a lot of salt to go with, you know, to take with that message. So here's some sweeps over Philippines. We're just gonna push through these. They're extremely bloody for us and very effective. And you can see here look at these P-35s. So yeah, that's not gonna be good. But actually, I can't remember. Let's see. Not sure. I'm not seeing any information about the P-35s. Because it's not even showing them here. I'm not 100% sure how they got into that. Oh, maybe they were training and then it got... Anyway. So, at Manila, we take a lot of damage to our whatever aircraft is sitting there and the runways. So, two PBY-4s. So I have them spotting all different directions, and eventually I just have to leave Manila because Yeah. Okay. So they're hitting Clarkfield. It's just a bloodbath. So I can't. Very soon I won't be able to fly any kind of patrol down here. These P-35s are up against zeros, then it just kind of becomes humorous. So yeah, we lose some P-35s. All right, now he's bombing Chang because we got in here and he's bombing us before we can attack. And we're bombing him. So, yeah, it goes back and forth. Now he has cap here, but yeah, the Nates don't last long anyway. All right, so we don't get any. Oh, right, I was looking up here. So if you look down here, we got some damage to his troops, and that may be the thing that puts us over the top because you'll see the ground combat is quite quite an epic struggle. All right, so he's bombing the Whippoorwill, and he does get a hit there. Yeah, critical hit. It's they're trying to find where to go, where to go. Well, it's gone. So so you're probably wondering how did that P-35A pilot become an ace? Well, not yet, but you'll see. Okay. So I'm shuffling some air units around up there, so that's what's happening there. So the Patterson takes a torpedo to the teeth, and yeah, that these destroyers are not designed to take torpedoes. So here we go. Our first destroyer around Pearl South. Okay, so okay, so yeah, we're bombarding again because why not? Now, this second bombardment ends up being a mistake because we should have gotten out of here and headed somewhere. We're gonna lose one or two of these destroyers as a result of my as a result of my delay. We're gonna lose one or two of them, but that's for another time. So he's unloading at Legazpi, taking some casualties on the in the process, and continuing offloading at Miri, and our cruiser mine layer is over here watching. So yeah, he's already dropping troops in the area of the Solomons Revolve. Uh, Lawag, yeah, a lot of losses there as they unload. And I do a lot of piecemeal um, speed bumps in Luzon like I do at Malaya, and that ends up biting me later too because I don't get back into stronger defenses where I can have a larger forces. Um, anyway, it ends up backfiring. Okay, so this is just an empty hex here, I believe east of Loyang and Chenchao, I believe. And yeah, he gets the better of us here. We're trying to position ourselves into a decent hex and hold, but the Japanese are just too strong. And yeah, just knock us right out. I mean, we take way huge casualties. We do beat them up a bit, but this is all repairable. Okay, and at Hong Kong, he bombards in preparation for his actual attack. And you see here we certainly take some casualties. And here's our deliberate attack, and you can see we have the numbers, but his troops are just so much better. And whatever he had in here, in addition to the 34th, has left. But we were able to capture the. We were able to get in here before the 34th got out. So, so we beat him up pretty good, and we're able to fight him again the next turn. Now here's the problem. Problem is, see, the quality is just so good that he just beats us up really badly, even though we have the edge, the numbers and everything. So yeah, and also fortifications were level 3, even we were 2 to 1 even with fortifications. But at least now the fortifications are 2. Should be a little bit easier next turn. All right, so yeah, some more fortifications increasing in various areas. And I see now we're already at 27 minutes, and this was just one of the turns I wanted to get through. I'm going to go ahead and throw on a second one though, because I think we can do it. Yeah, these invasions, he has myriads of invasions, and they stack up and use up a lot of time, burn a lot of time. As well as air combat. So got some more air units arriving on the west coast. Again, a lot of it restricted. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, and here, pardon me, here is December 11. So what do we have? What can we look forward to this turn? Ooh, look at all those subs. It's just nuts. By the way, losing Patterson on the 10th has made me, every time now when I see those subs firing even at our destroyers, it just makes me so nervous. So the I-168, okay, we're still hanging on, trying to catch it. All right. But yeah. He wastes 2 torpedoes, and we waste several depth charges. Of course, we're a lot closer to our base where we can get it. Yeah. So we do have. Oh, right. So we took a sub and we dropped some mines here. He encounters the minefield, but apparently it's ineffectual. Okay. Only 3 coastal guns firing at Miri. And transport versus transport. So no, this isn't a transport. Okay, so if only I had the Penguin on surface action. I had it on ASW instead, and so instead of attacking these light cargo ships, we just sail right on by. Man, that's unfortunate. And we have some PT boats, but against destroyers, so I don't think that's going to end up well. So, yeah, these are over here at Luzon, I believe. Anyway, in the Philippines area. And actually, we don't take any hits. So I was wrong. It is here at Legazpi. And the goal is to deter these invasions or maybe even get a lucky torpedo hit, but nothing there. Okay, so I send in the cruiser mine layer again. Mainly, I'm insistent to get this minefield laid, but instead he runs into these guys again, which is expected, I guess. But and then runs away, and that's um, he doesn't scare them away. But are the K-11 like? See these Dutch subs sitting here, just kind of being a major pain, and just really tears into this with all these 45 centimeter torpedoes. So 2 hits and a lot of casualties there. The Sargo, it's yeah, waste of torpedoes, and that's that. The I-23 here by Pearl, and I mean, we don't do anything about it because we can't get a bead on it, and so there we go. All right, so yeah, here's where I was saying we stayed one turn too long, and as a result, this happens. So take a look. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and well, we don't have a lot of these, so you'll see in the rest of the campaign, there's not a lot of surface action. So this is what we're going to be able to watch. So a couple of heavy cruisers come into Hong Kong and decide to keep us from doing this bombardment. Okay, so finally somebody gets hit, and it's of course us. Okay. So, yeah, exchanging gunfire for sure. We're closing to 10,000 yards. Torpedoes in the water. And starting the break as we increase to 11,000. Ooh, torpedoes. Now it's 12,000 yards. Here's the thing, those destroyers apparently have a lot of torpedoes. That's nuts. But yeah, the Thracian is at least superficially on fire. And I don't think we've landed a hit yet. But we've broken off.
GIs and Marines. This is
2
Orphan
light
Ann
hits
at
here.
Radio Tokyo, bringing you some hot music and another blow to your morale. Today, our High Command announced that the Imperial Navy has achieved another great victory near Hong Kong, with the sinking of 2 carriers, a battleship, and numerous cruisers and destroyers.
Okay, so that's obvious propaganda because we've taken a couple of shell hits on 3 Allied destroyers and British destroyers, and I mean, I guess if you want to call it several carriers and battleships, that's fine. So yeah, that that was not what I was worried about or what I was um, remembering. But we certainly do not come out on top for sticking around at Hong Kong. Okay, so the I-4 here is menacing us, but we can't do anything about it. And so the night raids continue. I put some buffaloes up. I probably shouldn't have wasted because the moonlight isn't that great, but I mean, not much, nothing happens there anyway. Apparently, this is a pretty sizable raid for a night bombing too, which means that he got through without any issue, like the cohesion and everything, which is kind of crazy, but. Yeah, it's to no effect anyway. All right, not sure what that is, but here's the K-11, you know, still being annoying up here in the Gulf of Siam. So, yeah, Siam. I guess I can call it Siam. I think that's what we call it. So, 4 torpedo hits. As well as, no, I guess that's it. We didn't at least I don't see any deck gun hits. But surely lost something on that boat. So the I-1 misses, but again, no guarantees here. We lost a destroyer already, so the Schley can't find it. By the way, it's still night. It's pretty crazy. So he's bombarding as he's unloading there at Miri. 6 coastal guns, but no effect, no visible effect. Let's see. He loses 10 troops unloading. And it looks like Guam, he's ready to try to take it. And a lot of patrol boats and 1 cargo ship. So he takes some, I mean, look at all this. So he takes some casualties unloading here. So, yeah. Now he's already way ahead of historical, already unloading Kavieng and northern New Guinea. So, actually, the southern tip of that island too. I forget, is that New Ireland or something? Anyway, the I-170 here off of Pearl, and neither side does anything. But yeah, continuing offloading Guam. We have 2 whole coastal guns. Okay, so I think we break off. Let's see, maybe not. Because I think we're all low on ammo, but we'll see. Maybe we do fight after all. Alright, I guess we do. So, Chokai opens up the action, and it begins. So we're at, yeah, 17,000, 16,000. Now I don't have enough detail what actual gun is firing apparently, but all right. So yeah, the Thracian, yeah. So look at all this. It's bad. All because we wanted to stay in bombard. Okay, he took one shell hit on the Maya, and we lost two destroyers and potentially a third. To this day, I think the scout makes it. Okay, so the K-15, it's yeah, we're taking hits because he's not happy or impressed with what we did here, and we're gonna take some damage here. Two hits. Now I don't remember how much damage that comes to, but like I said, we don't lose it for sure. Now we have a dud here, the permit east of the Philippines. Oh well, would have been nice. All right, I-17 and we abandon. I-3 fires some torpedoes, and I mean, early on, it just becomes a situation where we're forcing to waste torpedoes. That's about it. Yeah, I mean, we're rattling these subs, and that's basically it. Okay. The S-36 misses with its subs. Again, these S-boats are very valuable for me early in the war. I need to use them places where they're for sure going to tag some juicy targets. Okay, we're still lurking here around Legazpi and being annoying, and his destroyers are still not very happy about it. So, and this is day action, so all right. So when even a destroyer shell hits, I mean, yeah, that's gonna be bad. And then a second one hits, so and a third. These are, I believe I'm seeing 12 centimeter guns, so we're gonna lose two of these at least. So far the Q-111 is staying alive. Wasting ammunition. Ooh. Massive explosion damage. Yeah. They, and then another hit. It's a blitz. It says obliterate. Yeah, we lose all three there. Now he used a bunch of ammunition off of it, but yeah, what a waste. Okay, the I-9 here around Pearl, and the Tracy is going to try to nail him. Some rattles at least. Let's see. Uh, Okay, so nothing comes of that. Now we have the I-4 up against the Henley. Okay. Just not a good clean hit there. Okay, air operations. Yeah, these Japanese float planes and so forth are, and that thing you saw notification up by Dutch Harbor, that's our carrier groups trying to steer clear of where KB might be. And we've lost complete sight of KB, by the way, so no telling where he is. All right, so our aircraft are supposedly hitting subs around Pearl. All right, so our Warhawk, so we saw that his raid was coming in, and we flew up to intercept it, and it was just a bunch of zeros, so ouch. One benefit of this, I guess you could say, is attrition on his zeros, for what it's worth, right? Because when you're losing all your aircraft, it just doesn't feel like it's worth it. Okay, so yeah, it's hitting hard, Clark Field. B-17D is damaged on the ground, and some decent hits on the airbase. And a follow-up raid by Betty's. We actually lose a few ground troops as well as more damage to the base. And another sweep there at Manila. And I Chang, he's bombing, and it sounded like cameras, so apparently he's bombing and trying to take pictures at the same time. And yeah. Alright, so some more bombing of subs, but I just can't ever believe those. It's just hard to know. And if we hit as effectively as the report said, he'd have no subs left. Okay, so here we're hitting his. He's hitting our runways at Hong Kong again for the purposes of beating up our and actually port also. The purposes of keeping us from building up our fortifications. Alright, so we're bombing too, and a Nate flies up to greet us, and we're driving him away with the bombers drive him away themselves. And I'm not sure why we're hitting runway. That doesn't make sense. This just doesn't make sense because we're gonna take this base anyway. I can't tell you right this minute what was going on there. We should have been hitting ground troops, but maybe the thought was, I don't know. The thought might have been, well, if he still holds the base, if we can't crush him here, we need him to not be able to build up fortifications. That's the only thing I can think of. So this time, his nates just only had to face off against 4 SB3s, and he easily dispatched them. Alright, so the air phases are over. We're combining, mostly, again, probably just shuffling some air units around. K-12 is going up against a transport. These things are stronger. The transports seem to be stronger than cargo ships, so it's harder to sink, I think. This 8 centimeter Bofors, and then I mean you throw in some 45 centimeter torpedoes. Well, can't do anything about that. Now it looks like this transport is empty, probably returning to base or something, but so we're not able to sink anything with items on it. The I-1 here, again by Pearl Harbor. And we don't get it. More offloading at Guam. 3 coastal guns fired. Okay. I think what we hear there is maybe something ran into a mine. Let's see. So he lost some troops at Itape. And he's unloading at Wewak. And also still unloading at Miri. We have 4 coastal guns, but nothing hit. Okay. Alright, now he's unloading at Brunei, and took a little bit of damage, but our 8 coastal guns didn't actually hit anything there. So, okay. Yep, he's invading the south of that island. I want to call it New Ireland, but I'm not 100% sure if that's correct. Alright, Pangpu. Yeah, we don't. You can see there our AV is 0. I'm not sure if that's adjusted or what, but of course we see 45 here, but yeah, it's bad. So I guess we do inflict a little bit of damage, but I mean. Alright, more bombardment here at Hong Kong. Okay. And Legazpi. Deliberate attack here. Well, there's nothing here. So anyway. Alright, so all we have here is just okay, so this is not going to be good because we have nowhere to retreat to, so I mean, we do technically, but we can't retreat to Brunei. So that was clever to invade Brunei at the same time. See this island here? I want to call it New Ireland, but I'm not sure if that's what that is. But yeah, they captured this with no resistance. And there you go. Up expanding fortifications, etc. I guess that's going to be it for this video because it's already almost an hour, and we'll see if we get any key reinforcements. But otherwise, I'm going to call it here, and we'll come back and talk next time. We'll be talking about the December 12 resolution. So it looks like we got a British cruiser, some cargo ships, transport there, Aden, some stuff, Cape Town, Aden. So some things for the Southeast Asia. Hey, this was interesting, hopefully, and we'll continue this next time. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.